just the way you are. I want you 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 just the way you are. Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. You're lovely with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but you love and the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fears apart. And the light that sprinkled your nose touches my foolish heart as you lovely, never ever change. Keep this brilliance charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fears apart. And that light that wrinkled your nose, touching my foolish heart. You're lovely, never ever change. Keep this brilliance charm. Won't you please arrange it? 'Cause I love you just the way you look tonight. Tonight.
for the spin, let it song. And I guess right now here's another one. So your melody will play on and on with the best of them. You were beautiful, like a dream come alive, incredible. A set of a miracle, little girl. You've set my life again. And I want you to know, baby, I love you like a lesson, baby. I love you like a lesson, baby. I love you like a lesson, baby. And I keep hitting repeat, repeat. I love you like a lesson, baby. I love you like a lesson, baby. I love you like a lesson, baby. And I keep hitting repeat. Constantly, though you play through my mind like a symphony. There's no way to describe what you do to me. You just do to me, but you do. And it feels like I've been rescued, I've been set free. I'm hypnotized by your destiny. You are magical, miracle, beautiful. You are. And I want you to know, baby, I love you like a lesson, baby. I love you like a lesson, baby. I love you like a lesson, baby. And I keep hitting repeat. I love you like a lesson, baby. I love you like a lesson, baby. I love you like a lesson, baby. And I keep hitting repeat. I own music to my heart, that's what you are. A song that goes on and on. I love you like a lesson, baby. I love you like a lesson, baby. I love you like a lesson, baby. And I keep hitting repeat. Lesson, baby. I love you like a lesson, baby.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Sulk stream. I am your host, the Incredible Sulk, and I hope you guys are having a good evening. A fantastic evening. A decent evening. As long as you're doing well enough to hit the like button, I don't give a shit. How you guys doing? How was your weekend? I hope it was good. I hope you guys went out there and made me proud. Did those things that made your dreams come true just a little bit? Maybe. If not, there's always next weekend. There is the entire week, and then there is the rest of your lives. So don't take it so hard. Don't be so hard on yourselves. Right? Why? What's the point? You're not going to live that long, and neither am I. Neither am I. Maybe. Maybe not. I mean, if I'm dead, you guys have been dead for weeks. I know that for sure. Anyways, thank you so much for coming tonight. It is a Monday show, and I am feeling much better. I am sorry for missing Thursday, and I believe also Friday night. Well, yeah, I did a little bit on Friday, but I was sick. I had some sort of weird tummy bug. But I'm better now. I feel fine. Went to the gun range, tried out my new glizzy. Had a blast. It was a good time. I went through Ran about 300 rounds through that thing. So I got a good solid run through it. No hiccups. Ran flawlessly like a sewing machine. Very happy. Thrilled about it, in fact. So thanks for asking. Thank you so much for asking. Tonight, on the docket, we are doing another one of our favorite nasally guys who think it talks like this. And he's going to be talking about another one of those feminist videos. And I thought it would be nice, and I thought it would be chill, and I thought it would be an easy way to ease into the week. So forgive me, I had a bunch of things lined up, and I was like, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? Do I want to do this? And it was always no. It was always no. Also, forgive me about the thumbnails. I don't know if Ardenshire is back in town yet, so he is not at his computer. But when he is, you'll get your thumbnails back, and you're also gonna get the shorts and the little mini vids, which are a lot of fun to watch. If you guys haven't seen those, or you want to, you can see him at on my Twitter at SulkStreamOFF. That is the official Twitter for the Sulk stream, and I say some crazy stuff, and who knows how long it's gonna last before I get banned, right? I can't help myself. I just can't help myself. Forgive me or don't. I don't give a shit, honestly. I have fun doing what I do, and I'm not going to stop. So whether you forgive me or not, it does not matter. It doesn't matter at all. Not even a little. Will I be going to hell? I don't know. This is a strong possibility. I'm trying not to, but not very hard. Anyways, thank you so much for coming to the Sulk stream. Again, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And again, I would appreciate it greatly if you hit the like button. My life revolves around that like button. It's all I have. It's all I have. Anyways, get comfy. Get cozy. Grab a nice bottle of whatever you happen to be drinking. Maybe some Hypnotic. Maybe something by Jay-Z or Diddy. And God, I hope not, because you don't know what's in there. You just don't know what's in that. Something gross. Something terrible. Something satanic. Grab a beer. Grab moonshine for all I give a shit. Whatever. As long as you're being safe, that's what matters, right? Until the big one. Until the big Kool-Aid day, right? So everyone stay alive, stay breathing, and stay paying your tithes. Because that's very important too. The like button is very important, but tithing is also exquisitely important. If you're working, thank you for having me in your ear. Thank you so much. And do not keep me on speaker, because that has gotten people fired before. If you are driving, please drive safely. Get home. Also, that's very important to me. Anyways, I think that's all we needed to talk about. I think that was the beginning. I did all the spiels. I did what I needed to do. And I hope enough people funneled in to, let's see, 31? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Anyways, it's a Monday. I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream. And this is called Why Woke People Don't Know Anything. Enjoy.
I am a feminist. I'm a feminist.
I'm a feminist. I'm a feminist.
I'm a feminist.
I'm a feminist. We're like doing that. I'm Sparta. No. What is that one? No, I'm Sparta. No. Never mind.
How do we feel about women having rights?
Yes.
Boo! Boo! That's how this whole mess started. That's whole, and I bet the only one that looks good is a guy here, right? The only one that, don't call me gay, all right? You guys have done that enough, and it's really starting to wear on me. The only one who actually has some feminine-looking clothing is probably a dude. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. I don't have the exquisite, like my wife she can pick out a troon from like a mile away. And I would be like, I didn't even see that. But I like look closer and like the body, it's too boxy. It's too boxy. Right? And why are you wearing a scarf? It's 90 degrees out. What, a scarf? It's all up here. It's all up here. It's too boxy. She can nail it. I can't. Not that I want to work on that kind of talent because I have other things going on in my life. But it is impressive.
Really cool thing.
Yeah, women's rights. That checks out as feminist.
Again, I said it before. Women, boo.
But that was an easy one. Let's see if the next one reveals the fake feminist.
Not for me. I hope to God they put me on Jubilee one day. I hope they put me on Jubilee so much. And then, like, it's just a bunch of these, people? Because, like, what is this one? What is this Frozen behind me right here? Wait, is that Frozen? This one. That guy. Girl? Guy. And then, black. Let's say people. I hope they put me on here with people. It's a very loose term.
What would you say
That's a
is the
very
most
loose term.
feminist thing about yourself?
A couple of guy girls and a black.
For me, it's just like uplifting women's voices.
Is this a dude? I don't think so.
For women's rights.
I think supporting women in all
No. That's a girl.
areas. So reproductive rights, work pay rights. All that.
Ania says, how old is John? I'm trying to figure out how many black shirts he's owned since he only ever wears it once. It got to be in the tens of thousands by now. I mean, you're assuming I wear one a day. No. There's a reason why I pull them out of like a box like Kleenexes, right? Because living in Florida, I sweat. And so and then I put probably 3 a day on a light day. But sometimes I have heavy flow days, and so I'll go through like 5. So, you have to factor that in.
that type of stuff.
Gee, that
I'm 37, by the way.
was boring. When she asked, what would you say is the most feminist thing about yourself?
And I started flowing a lot when I was... Let's see, when I hit Sulk hood when I was probably 12. And yeah, it's just been black shirts and, heavy flow days. Ever since
I thought
then.
they would say something like, I'm the leader of a slam poetry group, or I have armpit hair.
If you are not used to seeing women with body hair like this, or
Bitch. I mean, you do you. It's not like that's not gonna get you laid. Like, for real, dude. I mean, like, you got a good face. You're young. You seem to be in shape enough. A lot of people can overlook the armpit hair and, like, the leg hair. Yeah, for now. But when this starts to slip, which it will, inevitably, you're going to have to make some concessions in the whole feminist agenda, the reality that you exist in. So you're going to be like, well, I'm not as pretty as I was when you look early 20s. I'm going to say late 20s. You might age well, you might age poorly. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt and say 35. Right, 35, and then you will definitely be shaving your legs because, well, it's all downhill from there. It's all downhill. It's way downhill.
or this, you're scared of a woman with natural body hair.
No, disgusted. It's different. I know you don't know words. It's disgusted. Disgusted and scared aren't the same thing. I'm not like cowering in the corner with a knife being like, get those hairy things away from me. Well, maybe.
You're a little boy.
Now that is some hardcore feminism. Why didn't Jubilee call her for this game show? Let's continue. I think one of the players has it figured out now.
Onia says, Arden failed to deliver the thumbnail. The show is ruined. I blame Frozen. It is Frozen's fault. But Arden is actually out of town. He's away from his computer. So it's fine.
I immediately went to Emma. I was like, that very much could be a
Emmett. Not Emma. Emmett. Like Emmett Till. Only I like him better because he's dead. Like you should be.
conservative woman in this group.
Was that too much? Was that too much? I'm sorry. I'm not sorry for saying it. I'm sorry. I'm not. I retract my apology.
Just based on her outfit. It was a great outfit. She looked great.
Wait, you actually practice self-care and take care of your appearance?
Your body and your appearance doesn't exist to please your partner.
Well, you can't.
No man has ever said that. No man in history has ever said that. No. Because we don't get that. We don't get that kind of luxury, right? We go to, my body's not meant to please you. Yeah, well, if you can't open a fucking pickle jar, then shit starts to get pretty, it gets to be pretty pathetic. If you have wrists like this thin and stuff, like, sure, your body is not meant to please your wife or your girlfriend or something like that. But then she's gonna not be your wife or girlfriend, and it's gonna be your fault. So this is just one of those things where women don't realize how good they have it, because a man would never, ever think something like that. That is so selfish and so petty to be like, I can just let myself go because my body is my body and it's not your pleasure domain. It's not your pleasure palace, all of this up in here. You know how fucking hard I work to keep myself in shape? Very, very hard. I mean, I'm naturally gifted. Let's be fair. But, I mean, it ain't free. It ain't free, okay? If I was just like, no, my body's not for your pleasure, and I sat on the couch and drank beer all day, Jess would be pissed. Rightfully so, too. Because it would be pathetic. It's not a manly thing. It's not a manly thing just to fucking sit on the couch all day and get fatter and fatter. And it's appealing. Don't get me wrong. I see the allure. You can't do it. That's not your role, right? Women have forgotten their role. They're like, I don't want to have any responsibilities in society. I want all the goodies. I want the good things, right? I want the high-paying jobs. I want the nice cars and the clean streets and the safe subways and stuff like that. But I want nothing to do with anything bad or wrong. And I want no accountability. I want the ability to vote, but I don't want to be blamed when my vote goes bad. When my policies that I voted in destroys our society because it lets in 1 million brown people. That's not my fault. That's hate. That's racism or something. No. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. No, fuck you. Seriously. The entitlement. Can you believe the entitlement of that? That makes me angry.
Can't be a feminist because feminists are supposed to make themselves ugly. What a self-own. The feminists even admit they know what's up. With that said, this is Jubilee's Odd One Out, a game show where a group of people try to figure out which one of them is not like everyone else.
Rushing Matt says, I really hate all women, based. They aren't good for anything, based.
The game is played in a...
What? What? This is an open forum. Okay, we get to talk about things freely. I'm not going to judge you on your extremely based takes, okay? But based.
Series of rounds where one person is voted off each round. At the end, if the remaining players decide to end the game after the faker is voted off, then they win a...
Oh, did I take roll today? There's Onius. It's okay to be Christian. There's Rabbit. Rushing. Ardenshire is here. Yeah, the gang.
Cash prize. If the faker ends up still being...
By the way, if you want to be involved in roll call, it happens over on... You can be on the YouTube chat or you can be on the Rumble chat, but a lot of people watch from Twitter. I understand that. I cannot see you from there. But if you want to be called, that's where you go.
There, then they lose. Spoilers.
Rumble's better because it pays me better.
There's no faker in this one. All of them were feminist. We aren't here to play the game. We are here to instead talk about the topics that were discussed during the game because this one got political. The most interesting thing about the conversation being that when the feminists described their
It's okay to be Christian says Arden is on the run from the feds. Arden is a fed.
opponents' standpoints, multiple times, they got the wrong reasoning
And you might be like, well, what does that mean? Oh, I can't say any more than that.
for why their opponents believe what they believe. For example, in this next clip, they talk about sports.
I'm wondering how you
You know, guys.
I'm a trans person myself, and I think
Arden Chair says, excuse me, fed contractor. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
that problem tends to stem with we're protecting children, but you can't say you're protecting children if you're kicking out trans children.
What? The root of the problem for why people are
Rapid Cities are, wait, who said that? Who said that? Says he's a fed, stream gets cut. Yeah, for some reason my stream got cut exactly like what?
opposed to trans women participating in female
Something's up. Something's up.
sports as children? No, these are two separate issues. First, the issue with children.
Oh, hey, Thought. She says, ugh, tiny testes incel voice guy. You love him, though. You're infatuated with him, aren't you, Thought? You would gobble his penis. Or whatever the kids call it these days.
Has nothing to do with sports. When people say protect children, they're talking about explicit material in school books.
Gobble his penis? I don't know. For real. Cap. No cap. I don't know. I'll ask Liz. He gobbles a lot of penis.
Family-friendly drag
Liz? How do you pronounce his name? Liz?
shows, and the morality of allowing a 12-year-old to make permanent life-altering decisions before they know anything about the world. How can you comment on this topic when you don't even...
Rushing Matt says, I blame World War II for putting women to work and making them entitled. That was partially to blame. That was the start of it. It's been a long, gross, hairy road, and it's been filled with STDs and high-calorie diets and bad pH balances and the whole thing. It's been a while. It wasn't just from suffrage to slut walks. But between those 2 points, yeah, that was the nightmare. Anything before that or anything after 2035 to 2040 is fine, right? This is just a guess of mine, but I think things will turn around and we will re-enslave women and then society will recover.
know what you're arguing against. Second, the issue with sports is because there are biological
I'm sticking with that term.
advantages that men
Re-enslave women.
have over women that make it so average male athletes can beat top female athletes who essentially sacrifice their entire childhood and much of their young adulthood to train for an insane amount of hours so they could be a top competitor in a sport like swimming.
By the time I was 8 years old, that's when I transitioned to swimming year-round. So this meant that in second grade...
This girl's not pretty. She's got a lot of makeup, but she's not pretty. She's got man jaw. And I'm not saying she's a guy. And I understand she's like a professional athlete, right? And she spent like years training and stuff. And this probably gave her like a lot of muscle tone. See, the thing is when you like start to build muscle, especially habitually over a long period of time, it doesn't just stick where you're training. It does for the most part, but it will change other things like your facial features and stuff. And like you'll get like a squarer jaw because you have to eat more protein. So you're chewing more often. It changes your entire physiology, like across the board, which is a good thing, I blame her bone structure for her not being pretty, but also it looks like she can take a walloping, dude. It looks like you can give her boom and she'd be like, and then make eye contact with you. And then you'd be like, then start doing the dishes really fast. Right. You know, if a chick can take a punch like that, like a full blown banner, right? That's respectable. 99% of chicks can't. Even Ronda Rousey, you put Ronda Rousey in front of me, I'll cold cock her one time and she'll be on the ground. Like, it is a rare feat. Yeah, sure, there are some big ones. Some like Nordic queens that are like 6'8" and 280 pounds that it might be tough. It might be tough. They could probably handle it.
You're swimming 2 hours every single day. And it really only gets harder from there because by the time
Onia says that's Katy Perry's brother. That's super funny. Yeah, I can see it.
you get to middle school and high school, you're practicing before school. Then you go straight to school, and straight from school, you go back to practice. After practice, you go home, you eat your dinner, you do your homework, you ice your shoulder, you go to bed, but you wake up and do it all again the next day.
That was competitive swimmer Riley Gaines, who was describing how she spent essentially 4 hours a day.
I thought, am I confusing that name with a porn star? Is there a porn star named Riley Gaines? Riley. I swear to God, it's that chick who does like "You're gonna make me come" meme, right? Her name's Riley too, right? Is it not? Is it not? I'm not up to date on my porn actresses. It's so funny calling them actresses. I don't have another term for it though. Whore, I guess. Porn whore. It doesn't fit the ear correctly. Porn stuntress. Porn hole. I'll work on it. We'll get back to that. We'll put a pin in it. We'll get back to it.
Swimming from middle school all the way into
Couldn't figure it out. We'll stick with actresses for now, right? I guess that's the only shred of dignity they have left. So let's just let them have it.
adulthood. And remember that this is in addition to having to go to school and do homework. 4 hours a day of practice basically means that you have no life. With that in mind, let's continue with the Jubilee video.
Emma, what do you think? You haven't said anything.
I'm kind of like,
Background noise says you mean movie theater rapist Riley Reid. Yes. I don't know about that. What do you mean movie theater rapist? What is that story? I don't know about that. I don't get that reference. Did she do something? Did she do something in a movie theater? To a movie theater?
I'm not against it. I'm not like so much. I feel like I don't have a clear answer because with kids, like when you talk about.
All right, Raider. What do you give her? 1 to 10, what do you give her? Guys only. Because women aren't honest. Guys only, what do you give her? 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. Real women. She's a real woman. And women in the chat may not vote because, again, you're a bunch of liars. It's not. What do you expect after thousands of years of doing the same things over and over again? Obviously, you're going to lose trust. So, men, what do you rate her?
About kids doing it, I don't think with children. I think everyone.
Onia says 3. Rushing says 6.5.
Should, everyone's the same.
Rabbit says, John, Google Riley Reid. It'll come right up. No, I'm not doing that.
Have the same strengths and everything like that.
Rabbit City says 4, Minnesota 8. A 4/Minnesota 8. I don't know. I've never been to Minnesota, so must be bad. I would give her, I think in Florida, it's not that great in Florida. I mean, she's not that great in Florida. There are some really good looking women in Florida. 5.8. I'm gonna give her a 5.8.
But I think in professional sporting situations.
Oh, Despite says 5.8 to 6.4. Okay, all right. Yeah, I feel like we're all. Onias gave her a 3, which is like, damn, Onias, that's a little harsh. That's a little rough, right? A 3. A 3, bro? Where do you live? Where do you live? That you would give this particular specimen a 3. I'm a feminist. I can say it, all right? Right? This is feminism. To me, this is my view of feminism, and you're being a bigot if you're saying it's not, valid in any way. So how do you give this chick a 3, though? Really? Like, a 3 would be... Okay, let's say... Okay, What's a 1? What is a 1? Onias, if this is a 3, what is a 1? Where does Michelle Obama fall on it? Is she... Because, Michelle Obama, I'm still she might be a dude. Or she's very masculine. She's got masculine features. She could take a punch, right? I'd be doing the dishes in that White House. Like Barry. Yeah, she's real low. She's real low. Michelle is a 0.08. Yeah, 0.08.
I might need to educate myself more on this, so this might be like what I need to come out of.
I say that because there's worse examples than Michelle Obama. And if you say there's not, there is.
Say and do, but I think trans women still have more strength than women.
Oh, despite says the lady that started #MeToo is a 1. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. I will bring her up. Lady is a very loose term. Me too. Because she is horrendous, dude. It looks like somebody threw fry oil in her face. Yeah, here we go. Viewer discretion is advised. Here we are. That's her right there. That's the Me Too lady. This is the one that just could not stop getting raped. She just could not stop getting raped. She could not. Damn. She could not stop getting raped. It was wild. And she's like, I'm gonna, you know what? #Me too, because holy shit. Look, look at the size of her nose. Look at the size of her nose. Oh my God. She's horrendous. Yeah, this is lower than Michelle Obama. This is lower than Michelle Obama. Yep. I would give this lady a 0.01. This is a 0.01. This is about as low as you can get. This is about as low as you can get. I can't think of him. Maybe the Gorok, but I think that's technically a guy, so that doesn't count. And we have no real evidence that Michelle Obama is a dude. No real evidence. Except for overwhelming, how obvious is that shit? Yeah. But to be fair, it's not confirmed. Okay. But that lady, she looks like a fucking gorilla, dude. That shit is disgusting. You ain't getting raped by anybody. Is it other gorillas? I don't know. You're gross, though. And by the way, I am a feminist. So my opinion is valid. I am a feminist, so my opinion is valid.
I'm saying that they're women, but I feel like it's not even exactly.
Wow, you can really see her winding up for that one. She did not want to directly answer that question out of fear of offending someone. Who exactly are the bullies here, by the way? Why did she feel like she had to apologize for simply stating her opinion?
Rabbit said, yeah, I bet she breathes good. You bet she breathes good. She's not. I mean, you think when she gets a cold, she gets stuffy and it's pounds of mucus? It's just globbing out of her like ectoplasm on fucking Ghostbusters. That's nasty. Ew, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see more.
You don't need to educate yourself, Emma. The difference in athletic ability is obvious. Yet because some people are so belligerent in how they treat people with differing ideas, Emma feels like she has to apologize throughout her entire point, to the extent where another player has to console her and let people know that it's okay for her to say her opinion.
Like they have an advantage, you would say.
Critical thought. This one was, I would donate his penis to a trans who needed to build one but didn't want to go too big. You can't do that, right? You can't do that because they would do that, right? They would meet, like, there would be a trans woman and then a trans man, and then they would meet, and the trans woman would be like, here, I will gift you my penis. And then she'd be like, okay, thanks, girl. Because, you know, the trans men, like the girls who want to be men, they're always, yeah, thanks, bro. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, bro. It's fucking hilarious. It's cringy. It is hard to watch. The play that goes on when you see a trans man. It is not genuine in the least bit. It is like they are trying to play a part, and it's painfully obvious. Hey, bro, let's go smash some beers later. Yeah, get some puss. Ew. Ew. God, your tiny woman brain doesn't even... I'm a feminist. I can say that. I can say tiny woman brain.
Yeah, like a slight advantage.
So you might be against it, maybe.
I mean, see, I don't want to say that though, because then I'm not really supporting all women.
Okay.
But
watch this bitch backpedal. Watch this bitch absolutely backpedal. Because she's like, okay, she's saying that's wrong for trans women. This is confusing. To be in female sports, right? Because they're not females and they have a biological advantage, right? And then she's like, I don't want to say because you know, it's not all women. It's come on, bitch. Luckily, I don't lower ratings based on your opinions because all women's opinions are garbage. I'm a feminist. I can say that.
So if it's professional, let's be honest. If you're good, you're good. I think if a transgender woman went up to play tennis against Serena Williams, and it's a transgender woman, she'd probably more than likely lose.
Yeah, because Serena Williams is one of the greatest of all time.
No, she'd get crushed.
Bad take. In the 90s, Serena Williams and her sister very famously lost to a male tennis player who was nowhere near the top. I mean, this is something that people pretty consistently bring up on the opposing side.
I've never played tennis in my life, but I'd have a pretty decent shot against these two. I actually don't know. I don't follow tennis.
When the topic of sports comes up. So if these guys on Jubilee haven't heard that, then it means they aren't listening.
When we talk about strength and stuff, sometimes...
Rabbit City says, I don't know if I could high-five a trans man. Feels gross. I mean, I could high-five women. I don't see high-fiving somebody as like a very intimate situation. If I high-five, but if I high-fived a trans man, I'd be like, high-five, and I'd be like, whoa, you have soft hands. Whoa, you got really soft, delicate hands. That's crazy. Oh, you're a girl. Yeah, I should have known. I mean, you're 5'2". Yeah.
yeah, so I think for sure, like, there's some that, like, they're absolutely even, but I think
And you kept saying bro like a million times, like, is actually doing something. No, I could put you through a wall. I mean, like, and I don't know. See, here's the thing about trans men and why they'll never be actual men. Because if I punch an actual man in the face, it's fine. If I punch a trans man in the face, it is a hate crime. So it will never be fine. You will never be a man because I can punch him. I can get into a fight with a man. I can beat him to death And then most of society wouldn't even blink, right? But if I beat a trans man to death, it would be national headline news about a hate crime. You know, some sort of hateful Nazi beats trans man to death. In some sort. It would. So ipso facto, you will never be a man. Simply because I can't beat you to death without repercussions. Like I could a normal man.
Very limited areas of sport, then like there might be a...
Onia says Virgie can't help but be 5'2". He's a little taller than that. He gotta be. He's gotta. And I'm not saying it's just 5'2", although that is embarrassing. But it's more than that. It is definitely more than that. It's definitely more than that. Because when a man lives his entire life you can just tell the depth of sadness in his soul. And I can tell that with Virgie. I can tell how much pain he harbors deep down. I really, really can. So he's a bro, right? And also I could beat him to death and no one would bat an eye.
Slight advantage. I think like tennis, soccer, like those type of things.
He does carry a gun.
I can't believe that was just said. None of these people play sports. They should immediately stop speaking because they have no idea what they're talking.
Christian says trans men want to be dude bros. Yeah, bro. Hey, bro. Yeah, they want to be dude bros until they start talking to guys in the bathroom. See, a trans man, they used to be women. They still are women, but something broke in their head, and now they think they're guys. But in women's bathroom, women talk to each other. Jess goes into the bathroom and makes best friends with random chicks in there. And like, she's like, oh, I was talking to this girl in the bathroom. I was like, why are you talking to anybody in the bathroom? What are you doing in the fucking, why? What's going on in those fucking bathrooms? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure I want to know. But anyways, I don't have conversations in the bathroom with like dudes. Nah, nope. No. And so a trans woman, a trans man would be very out of place. And then that trans man would be like, why are your bathrooms so disgusting? Because they're not lounges. We don't have couches and shit in here. You know? There's not, we don't get like, there's not an espresso bar in the men's room. Okay? There's this one zoo near where I live. And the men's room is a men's room, right? It's got urinals and shit like that, graffiti on the wall, and everyone keeps their eyes on the ground. And my wife let me into the women's room, the female, and she was all like, "You got to check out this," and it was all like fucking ornate and stuff like that. Half of the wall was glass, and it came up to the monkey enclosure, and there was like monkeys like frolicking and stuff. Like you could see that and stuff, and there was like the people working in there and shit like that. It's different. It's like Gringotts, right? There's like intricate railways and stuff like that. There's Diagon Alley in there and shit. It's not like that in the men's room. No, in the men's room, it's like fucking Azkaban. It's fucking, there's Dementors and shit. It's not the same. It ain't the same.
Talking about. Also, I'm going to take back what I said before. Emma is brave for having a dissenting opinion in this game.
It ain't the same.
But maybe
Jess, if you're watching, can you bring me another bubbly water, please? Please.
She does need to educate herself. Playing tennis requires an insane amount of conditioning. Do you know how much of a huge advantage it is to be able to run faster than your opponents? Do you know what a big deal it is in tennis to have more endurance? Men are naturally better at both of those. Not to mention that men don't have to factor in a menstrual cycle into their training. Physical conditioning matters in every sport. That's why athletes...
Rushing Matt says, dude had a wife and a daughter. Who, Virgie? Virgie's got 3 kids. Virgie's got 3 kids. A wife and 3 kids, yep.
Cheap by taking steroids and physical
And
conditioning.
yeah, he was a heroin addict. And who can blame him? Heroin is the bee's knees, okay?
Matters a lot, especially in sports like swimming, where conditioning and body type is a huge part of determining who wins. In the case of Leah Thomas, being a
Bro, that's a bro right there. That's a bro. That's a dude. I mean, that's I mean, when you're lapping other people in the pool, come on.
below average biological male athlete ranked 462 nationally in the men's division was enough to rank at the top in every freestyle.
What an embarrassing podium. What an embarrassing podium. She's pissed. This girl right here, she's clearly mad. And then this one's just like, whatever. What the fuck ever. She's fat. You're too fat. You're lucky to be up in that. You're lucky to be up there anyway, right? But she's mad. And rightfully so, because she would have gotten first. And look at the fucking dick on this one. There's still dick there. It's a dick. That's dick right there. Maybe it has been shrunken by large amounts of estrogen and shit like that. But look at the fucking feet on him. Those are big ass feet too. Those are big fucking... Everyone saw this and was understandably upset because, like, dude, come on. There's no way this chick had a chance. There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
Event category after switching to women's sports.
The swimmer was ranked at the top in everything, all the freestyle events from the 100 freestyle, which is a sprint, everything in between to the mile.
Despite says, I don't understand your Harry Potter references. I only saw the first 2 movies 20 years ago. So fly indoor or you're in Tampa. Go to fucking Universal Studios. Go to Universal Studios and then go to the Harry Potter area. And it is whimsical, dude. It is like, it's charming. Shut up. Go over to whatever, the cold, get yourself a butter beer. They have alcoholic versions, they have non-alcoholic versions. They're really good. They're Hagrid's ride. I haven't been on it, but it looks like fun. Go there. Don't go to the double-decker bus because they have a little mummy head and he says really mean things to you. He hurt my feelings.
Which the mile is long distance. And so think about your Olympic runners. Your best 200-meter runner is not your best marathon runner. But that's what we were seeing in this individual. Those are totally different systems.
Oh, hey, thanks, Bessie.
This is crazy.
Appreciate the
because
raid,
some
man.
of
I
these
really
events
appreciate that.
require
Thank you.
different types of conditioning, and Leah Thomas was still able to win.
Okay, cool.
If we're talking about the physiology
raid.
here, sprinting and endurance exercises require different types of muscle.
Anyways, guys, for the people that just showed up, I am a feminist and I am hate speeching.
Fibers and stress different systems of recovery.
Catching you up.
If you're competing with top athletes who are maxing everything out, you can't win both types of events because you would have to sacrifice growth and...
Obedience says Hagrid is fun and a long ride. I haven't... So when I went on, because I went and waited in line, right? And I waited for like 2 hours and then they did this ride is broken now. And I'm like, fuck you. Fuck me, man. Fuck me. Fuck you, though. Fuck you. So I didn't get to go on.
One of the events to be a winner and another. The difference in physical
Hey,
ability
Leo?
is so great here that Riley said that the worst male athlete on her college
Freeside said hate speech is my favorite kind of speech. It is delicious.
swim team could destroy the best female athlete, no question.
Footpick says I could tell you're a feminist. Okay. See, it's true. See, it's true. If you looked at the description of this, it says, no, really, I am. Why does no one believe me? I am a staunch feminist. I believe thoroughly in the whole women's stuff. I don't want to say rights because they can't tell the difference between their rights and their lefts. So I don't want to cause any confusion. So women's stuff.
And Leah Thomas was beating the female competition by huge margins.
Leah dominates, beats
Brianna says I could tell by the nipples. How does that even make sense? How does that even make sense? You could tell as a feminist by the size of my nipples? Is this like phrenology for nipples? Because if so, I would like to read that book.
everyone in the water by seconds, which in swimming, even 1 second is a ton. But Leah beat everyone in the water by multiple seconds, body lengths. And these are Olympians. These are the most impressive female swimmers of all time.
This is not some trivial
It's
issue.
not that impressive, though.
These are women who are sacrificing a huge portion of their lives to achieve something, only to...
Brandon says you have girly nipples. No, what do you have, like big old sausage pepperoni nipples? I have my nipple. Look, dude, I don't want to get in a conversation about my nipples again. I feel like every other episode I'm talking about my nipples or like showing off my muscles or like evaluating some aspect of my physique. I understand. Look at these big ass hands. Look at those fucking meaty ass hands. See, I'm doing it again. But look, they're good muscular hands. These are good mitts. Those are them's good mitts.
To have that dream destroyed by someone who doesn't want to play fair. Yet the feminists who started out this...
Foot says big nips on dudes look weird. I'm going to let you sit in that.
Jubilee game saying that they are all here for women will brush off these issues people have with sports as religious dogma or hate.
Well, and a lot of times, let's just call it what it is. It's about people's religion. It's about your ideology, your religion.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay. So how is this chick not in a religion? Look, just because you don't say outwardly that you worship a certain type of deity doesn't mean you don't follow a religion. This, I could argue, this entire, like, I'm a woman now, this leftist ideology, I could really, to a very good degree, argue that this is a religion, right? I mean, you follow tenets, you have dogmas, you have things that, you have sins, right? You can't say certain things about certain people, you can't dead name people and shit like that. So just because you don't say you worship a god or whatnot doesn't mean that this isn't very religious in a culty kind of way. And I should know I'm a feminist and a cult leader, but mostly a feminist.
again, has no place in.
Mostly a feminist.
Yeah.
Again, this is a complete misunderstanding of the arguments. None of the counter arguments I've mentioned here have anything to do with religious belief. Joe Rogan isn't religious, and he's spoken out about the sports issue many times over the years. Now,
well, he's religious now. Isn't he going to church now? Isn't Joe Rogan going to church now?
The reason these Jubilee contestants have a bad understanding of what people are arguing is because they are very discriminatory of who they allow in their group and will shut out anyone who wants to add nuance to their opinions.
Well, yeah, I just want to see, because I was wondering, I don't know how the casting works. I don't know if there's any turfs or swerfs in the group, because I don't determine that to be feminism.
Hold on. A swerf, a sex worker, exclusionary, radical feminist. What? I had no idea that was a thing. I know what a turf was, but how are you what? How did sex work get entangled into feminism? Right? Because it just seems like another excuse to be a whore. This is another female thing where it's not my fault. This is another accountability dodge. That's what that is. This is another accountability dodge. I'm not a whore. I'm a feminist. I'm a feminist too. And you're a whore. You're a whore. Dirty whore.
Because, for me, trans women are women, so we should be protecting all women, not just cis women.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you completely agree with me, you aren't allowed to call yourself a feminist. Imagine the irony of saying that you are super inclusive and support all women, but actually revealing that you will discriminate heavily against a woman for not having the exact same ideology as...
Mr. Footbig says shunning is what JWs call it. Shunning is, I thought shunning was Amish people. Yeah. So shunning is Amish people. The J-dubs, which I actually grew up kind of as, it's called being disfellowshipped. You're disfellowshipped. And so it's not called shunning. It's being disfellowshipped. And yeah, they will, your family, your friends, they will never speak to you again. Yep. Never again.
As you do. Also, did that guy just say you can't call yourself a feminist if you don't like sex work? What? I guess radfems are purely against sex work because they are sexist and not because of things like the large amount of trafficking that happens in that industry. He's very literally saying that he won't listen to someone unless they already agree with him. I mean, shit, I don't agree with ABBA and Preach on a few things, but I'm not out here calling for them to turn in their anti-woke card.
Nah, I don't know who those people are. That
would be ridiculous, and it would rob me of the insight that they have when they explain why they believe what they believe when it comes to where we disagree. Speaking of how these...
Brennan says porn and sex is the patriarchy using women. Porn and sex is the patriarchy using women. Oh, yeah. I mean, okay, so like... I could see that, yeah. I mean, I could see... Well, like, are there any major porn producers that are women? Because let's be fair here. Like, back in the day, madams ran brothels and stuff, but those brothels were always owned by men, almost exclusively. Yeah, there was instances where a madam whore worked her way up and actually was able to buy her own brothel, but it was very rare. It was extremely rare. 99% of the time, they were always owned by men. And yes, there were madams that ran the day-to-day bangings. But yeah, it was owned by men. Is the same thing for their porn? I guess, because now we have like OnlyFans. But OnlyFans as a site is just run by another man. So it's just a bigger racket. So it's not, you know. Yeah, that doesn't count either.
These feminists talk like they're on a cult.
You said something about agreeing with women no matter what they do. Like, I fully disagree. I feel like feminism, you have to hold women accountable. Like, there are women like J.K. Rowling who, like, leading and spearheading a transphobia movement in the UK, and you can't...
Well, transphobia movement, right? No, she's writing books. She's writing fairy tales. She's a fucking fairy tale author. She writes about, like, witches and trolls and shit. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, it just clicked in my head. Okay. So, like, the trans are the trolls, and, like, these are the witches, and no one knows which way is up, and I might have to read that book for the first time, because I've never read Harry Potter. No.
can't, like, hide behind feminism when you were literally...
Yeah, this one's got no chin at all. She looks like a worm. Like some sort of worm. She wasn't going to be pretty as a girl. And so she was like, let me try to be a guy. I'll put on this sweater vest and have some sort of weird haircut. And then it's not working for you. It's not working.
Hurting women.
Oh, totally.
Hold J.K. Rowling accountable for being a feminist who disagrees with you? That doesn't sound like a cult at all. I wonder what this person would say if I asked them, why do you think J.K. Rowling has an issue with the trans movement?
Obedient says, or a Bob's Burgers character. Yeah, she, Linda Belcher vibes a little bit. Sure.
Do you think this person, Emmett, would be...
Where's my wife with my bubble water? Oh, come on. Come on, wife. Bubble water.
Able to accurately describe J.K. Rowling's beliefs? Or would Emmett radically misinterpret Rowling's beliefs and suggest that her lack of complete ideological conformity is causing people's lives to end?
I have no problem with about sports and stuff, but I also don't want to silence the J.K. Rowlings of the world because I believe in democracy.
Oh, record scratch.
And I believe to know your enemy, I want them to speak.
Who is this guy? Kenyon.
That's how they used to do things in the old days. That's what the KKK does. They hide their face.
Sure.
I want to know who they are, and I want them to speak freely so you know who the enemy is.
Sometimes they get a little violent.
I thought the KKK was like CIA based.
And it turns into
people, I mean,
other
but
things.
It is though, right? Right? That's why right?
Violence? Where? A protest in January where people got escorted into a building is not...
Dan Snot says, woman, get him the bubble water. Somebody hit her on Twitter. Hit her up on Twitter and be like, your husband needs bubble water. He is parched. I'm thirsty.
Violence. Nor is a car crash in Virginia an example of why...
Leave the baby. He's had enough, okay? She's probably breastfeeding the baby right now. I know that's exactly what she's doing. But I'm not going to say I'm more important. I am equally as important as that baby.
widespread violence being caused by free speech. I always find it ironic.
We both need our sustenances, liquids. Hi!
That the people who are anti-free speech can only point to those two events over the past decade when there have been dozens of incidences of violent protesting and full-on riots from their side over the past 10 years. There's
Dan Snot says formed long before the CIA. So what? So what the KKK was formed long before the CIA? That means nothing. The KKK is like, it's a nothing organization now, right? It is a ghost of itself, which is kind of funny because they wear ghost outfits. It used to be a strong, politically affiliated movement, right? And it was affiliated with the Democrats. This is a historical fact. And it died down, and they kind of moved themselves away from it for reasons, I assume. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. A lot of things happened before, like the Jehovah's Witnesses. They were technically formed before the CIA, but I am almost 100% sure that the CIA probably is in a large amount of control of that organization. From just what I've seen, and like being a part of it and stuff like that, it seems very CIA, MK Ultra kind of affiliated. Now, whether if there's direct ties or not, I can't speak to that. But I know there is some crossing of certain tactics and brainwashing methods and things like that. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if it was formed. Just because the CIA didn't start something doesn't mean they're not heavily involved in something. That's what I'm saying.
The Ferguson riots, the Kavanaugh riots, blocking freeways, which impedes...
Dan Snot says, FBI, John, CIA is for corrupting other countries. FBI corrupts locally. Yeah, but that doesn't mean the CIA doesn't operate inside the country. And I know they're like, well, the CIA is not allowed to operate inside the country. Okay. All right. Yeah, this clandestine organization with an unlimited budget is going to follow rules. That's stupid. No, they're not.
Emergency vehicles, the massive number of riots in 2020, that SUV that drove into a parade, and all the rioting that Antifa has done. So what widespread violence is coming from the free speech group? The Jubilee editors even came in with the assist, too, with a record scratch after the black guy said that he was for free speech as a suggestion that he was wrong for saying that.
But I also don't want to silence the J.K. Rowlings of the world because I believe in democracy.
I give him props for being pro-free speech, though from what he said after the record scratch, I don't think he's in favor of free speech because he wants to engage.
Obedience says the summons have been sent. The beacons to minus bubble tea has been lit. Yeah. Yep. Good. I'm glad. I hope she gets like 100 messages. I hope she gets like tagged and reposted 1 million times. It says John wants bubble water. Sulk wants bubble water. Woman, get your, start with the bubble water. Get to the bubble watering. I hope it blows up her feed.
Engage in conversation with differing opinions. He just wants to hear a couple of key words so he can know who to hate.
There's like 100 people watching. Let's just blow up her fucking feed. I need my bubble water.
That's why he essentially said, I want to unmask them versus I want to understand their reasoning and hear what they have to say.
I think I understand what you mean. Like you agree with free speech, but not to the point where it should like restrict someone else. Like you don't have
No, but I definitely want the J.K. Rowlings and the Marjorie Taylor Greens to talk. I want them to talk because I want to know who they are.
What is she going to say? Because he sounds stupid?
So stupid.
Well, stupid.
Okay, there we go. Wow. What a great counter argument. That's okay. That's you. Okay. You don't think somebody should be allowed to speak because they sound stupid. Glass houses, bitch. Glass houses. Right? Because, I mean, like, you sound pretty fucking stupid to me. Does that mean you don't have a right to speak? Come on. A lot of times I can't even fucking say anything. Because these people are obviously idiots. I mean, like, black guy over here is an idiot too. Maybe he's less of an idiot than, like, that one chick. Not by a lot, though.
But you also want to know who they are.
It's really ironic that they would suggest that people like J.K. Rowling are stupid when both of them couldn't even accurately describe what their opponents think when it comes to trans women in women's sports. They're supposed to be the smart ones, yet they don't even know what they're arguing against. And that kind of inaccuracy and lack...
Critical Thought says, Hagrid's motorbikes are so fun. I went back because I was like, where's Thought? I want to hear her opinions. Thought, please don't be quiet. I want to hear your opinions on this guy. I know you're, like, enamored with him, and you got the hots. She's got the hots for him.
Lack of understanding makes it really easy to straw man and hate people who disagree with you because you aren't actually disagreeing with the person. You are disagreeing and hating some fake...
Obedience says, we will see if Femoid Rohan will answer. Oh, she changed her fucking... She changed her thing. She changed her thing. Let me see. I have not even... She changed her fucking thing. Hold on. Hold a minute. Hold a phone. She was telling me about this earlier. Oh, no. No, apparently, there's another account called, like, Fairy Femoid or something. It's a very similar name. And it's from an OnlyFans creator that fucks dogs. And so she was all like, I think I should maybe change my... And I was all like, you do you, honey. You do you. And then she was all like, well, I'm from the alternate reality where she doesn't fuck dogs and she has a happy family and stuff. I'm like, congrats, honey. I'm glad you didn't have to go and fuck dogs. Just me.
Fake construct that you've
Just
developed
me. I'm
because
sorry.
you're too lazy to do research or too close-minded to actually listen to...
Thought says, I'm sorry, I'm working on something, but I will pay better attention, cult leader. Thank you, Thought. That's all I need. I need your attention because I die without attention.
People who don't agree with you.
And compliments.
Which is the exact kind of narrative that all the woke stuff has been pushing.
Do you not have your wife's phone number? Nah, we haven't gotten that far.
Don't actually...
We're trying to take it slow. We're like, we'll start off with kids and marriage, and then maybe...
investigate the thing you're discussing. Just repeat an opinion that you merely have because it was the first thing you were exposed to on the subject. Not because you actually looked at both sides, thought about it critically, and came to a conclusion. However, I think what we're seeing in the new cultural meta is that a pretty large number of people are tired of having their values misrepresented and trashed by people with radicalized beliefs who care more about looking more...
No, I mean, I do, but it's like... I do, but I think she blocked me. She fucking blocked my text. Can I have bubble water? Let's see. Let's see if she gets that. She doesn't like it when I text her.
...morally superior, then they care about helping people or bettering society. Probably...
Renee says lots of girls will fuck you before you get their number, but not usually marriage. Yeah, that's the tough one to get.
The most recent example of this...
And anal, too. It's like, those are like the two, right? Those are the two toughies to get.
...is all the drama happening around the Snow White movie and the lead actress Rachel Zegler. Now, just in case...
Unless she's a complete whore and then she marries you in the first night.
You've been living under a rock for the past few weeks or you're watching this way in the future, here's a clip from an interview with her that sums a lot of it up.
The reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago, and...
Oh, good. Oh, good. I can't wait to hear her take, her fucking hot fire takes on classical German fairy tales. Snow White's German, right? I don't know. I'm sure this is going to be dog shit stupid. I'm sure this is going to be fucking stupid. Okay, let's do this.
Therefore, it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of.
Despite says, had you considered trying please? Trying please what? Had you considered trying please? I don't understand. Like saying please? I'm not going to say please, my wife. No.
Women being in.
It's ridiculous. It's what simps do. Oh, please. Oh, will you please have sex with me? Oh, will you please have my children and fucking do my laundry? No, do it. It's your job. It's your fucking whole thing, dude. It's what you're programmed to do. I'm not gonna say, can you please do your fucking job? Can you please do your... Honey, can you please bleed once a month? No, it's not. That doesn't make sense. I'm not doing that. I'm a feminist.
Power and what a woman is fit for in the world. And so when we came to reimagining the actual role of Snow White,
she ain't looking too bad, though. I know she looked goofy in that fucking thing, but here she ain't looking too bad. She just needed to put herself together a little bit. And this is Gal Gadot. She looks like Slender Man. I know people find her attractive. I'm sorry, I'm not one of them.
Became about the fairest of them all, meaning who is the most just and who can become a fantastic leader. And the reality is, Snow White has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power before she can.
This chick, oh, dude. This Rachel Ziegler chick, she fucked a producer or two to get where she is in Hollywood. And I know, don't get me wrong, I know how Hollywood is. I know how the entertainment industry is. I've actually been working in it for quite a while. But I have yet to fuck a producer. She fucks producers immediately and regularly. 100%. Like with no shame whatsoever. And she gives the butt up. She gives the butt up. I'm not judging you, Ziegs. That's what I call her. Yeah, I'm judging you, fucking whore.
Come into power over a kingdom.
Spoken like a true mark.
Dan Snot says Rachel Ziegler is mid at best. Yeah, I'll give you that.
We're going to reimagine a very popular movie. And
Dan Snot says I've seen hotter cashiers at Lowe's. Yeah, I'll give you that too.
Redefine fair to mean just instead of attractive.
Despite says hairy-backed Puerto Rican. I'll give you all of these. Here, hold on. Let me just start raining bells on people because I'll give you guys all of this shit, dude. Yes, I've seen more attractive women at Lowe's. She's mid at best. She's a hairy-backed Puerto Rican. Yes to all of that. Yes. Okay. Now, can we please move on? She's gross. Mid at best. However, would you? You're bored. You're a little drunk. Would you? Dan Snot, be fucking honest with me, man. Be honest with me. Come on, just as bros. Right? Would you?
How do we have a villain then? The original story of Snow White was about vanity and about how a queen was jealous that her stepdaughter was more attractive, which is actually...
Mr. Footbig says I've done worse.
Kind of a message that leftists and feminists should agree with about valuing...
Despite says way hotter women at my Chick-fil-A. Now hold the fuck on. First of all, yes, you are 100% right. But for some reason, Chick-fil-A is a good job. And they only hire from like certain families to get those good. Yes. So that is, but yes. But I have seen fat girls at Chick-fil-A, but she was so nice. Have a blessed day. I'm like, you should work somewhere else.
personality over appearance.
Just because you have to be nice doesn't mean I do.
As Snow White mainly charms people.
You know, I'm toxic, dude. I'm a feminist, I told you.
With her character and not her looks.
Where is
Evidence
my
of that
bubble
being
water?
that both Snow White and the Queen are attractive, but the characters in the story hate the Queen while they like Snow White. But now the Queen is trying to be fair and just, so I guess she's the hero of the story in this version. Also, this quote from the original movie.
Hair black as ebony, skin white as snow. Snow.
What? Apparently I do, and I have to, you know, get an army of people, an army of cult members to harass you online, and then...
Who's harassing me online? I don't even have my phone on me.
You don't have your phone on you?
I'm doing chores.
Thank you. She's just slipping.
It's always funny.
I love you. She's fucking pissed.
To see people who will screech about cultural appropriation because a white person wants to wear Japanese clothes, yet they will take a European story with a character who is described as having skin as white as it possibly can be, with the word white in her name, and cast a Latina or a Latinx. I'm sorry about that.
Obedience says Rohan answered belligerently. Nah, it's just the time of night. She gets belligerent.
That mistake. Please don't call me a racist. Or is that technically a phobe instead of an ist? These days, I'm not sure anymore.
Whatever. What's the difference between a phobe and an ist? They're both nonsense terms. I mean, a real phobia is like being arachnophobia, being afraid of spiders. You are afraid of spiders, like, because spiders can be dangerous. And like, yeah, trans people can be dangerous for sure. They are actually insanely dangerous. So maybe that is actually a good term. Okay, you got me. I am afraid of them because I'm afraid of what they do and what they think they're entitled to do and how they are so fucking crazy. And pilled up on SSRIs and God knows what else, and just have a loose grasp on reality, and also the memes. The memes. Have you seen the memes? Not one trans meme have I seen that didn't involve killing somebody, murdering innocent people based on their ideals or opinions or no reason at all. That's something to be concerned about. You know, that's something to be concerned about. Excuse me for being a little phobic of that. You know, because it makes perfect sense. If every meme you create or share is like some guy's head exploding, or you stabbing some woman to death in a bathroom, or like doing something terrible to your own parents, like it's just... It strikes me as deeply psychotic and unhinged. That's probably just because I'm a bigot. But it's okay because I'm a feminist.
But this would be like taking a character named
So
Snow
okay.
Black or Snow African
It's okay,
American and casting her as a white person.
Snow African American. Snow African American. Snow African American's a good line.
In fact, since race-swapping remakes are such a popular trend, let's do a remake of Friday with all white characters and change Felicia's name to Samantha.
It's okay to be Christian. Says maggots are gross, not scary. I'm not, you know, it's not a disgust. It's not like disgust, you know. It's not, because I understand the difference between disgust and fear. Like, and true, they are gross. Sure. I mean, you lop your dick off and go around smelling like shit the rest of your life. That's gross, right? You have a festering wound between your legs that you have to, like, you know, fucking every day, multiple times a day. That's disgusting. That is disgusting. The fear part comes from what kind of person would do that to themselves. I'm afraid of that person. I'm afraid if that person does that to themselves, what are they going to do to the regular population, the not crazy people out there? That's a real concern.
for modern audiences. Race swaps are in vogue now, so that's okay, right? So now Snow White...
Couch says, what are we yelling about? It's like your favorite. It's like your favorite subject. It's like your favorite subject. I can't believe you haven't been watching. You've been doing laundry. You've been doing the dishes and chores and stuff like that. It's like your favorite subject.
White isn't white, and the dwarves aren't even dwarves anymore because I guess some Game of Thrones actor doesn't want competition. Certainly other people in that group don't agree with him.
But I do think that this is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
How's he doing? How's Wee Man doing these days? Do midgets live as long as normal people? That's a legitimate question. Do they? Or do they have like some sort of... JJ would know the answer to this, but I don't think they do. Because I don't see a bunch of old midgets. I don't see a bunch of gray-haired midgets. Which is kind of sad. Because it's like... There's no reason they have to die early. They didn't do anything wrong. It's just sad, you know? And they're kind of funny. And, you know, I don't hate midgets. I don't see a reason to hate midgets. I don't find them creepy or anything like that. Yeah. You're fine with me, midget kind. You midget folk are free to pass, and I have nothing to say. Now, there's other streamers out there, JJ, that will absolutely... I don't think they like you at all. But you're fine with me, midget folk. You are amongst friends here. Well, not friends, but... We just don't have a problem with you. You know?
Why are you hiring...
I don't think you can be a part of the cult, but I'll consider it. I will. I'll deeply... If a midget wants to be a part of the cult, I'll be like, all right, what can you do for us? Can you, like if we had like a mole problem in our lawn, could you go after them? Like go into the mole holes and stuff? I don't know what I would use you for. I'd figure it out. You'd be welcome. How about that?
Snow White and the Seven Average People.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Do you think there's anything Disney can do to make this right? Like, what do they have to do, you know?
Fuck Disney. Fuck Disney. Fuck them. Fuck them. Who gives a you know, Disney's not going to make anything right. Disney is on the path to hell. They work deeply with child traffickers and people who do terrible, terrible things. So fuck Disney. Fuck them. I am going on a Disney cruise, man, the next month. Yeah, and they're probably going to be keeping an eye on me. But fuck you guys.
Well, if they want to make it right, they redo the movie and they recast. Okay. And they get Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Though maybe this is beside the point in this particular case because most...
Are these seriously the dwarves? Are these seriously... Is this the iShowSpeed guy? Is that streamer? Is he getting movie roles now? What?
The audience is mad about the fact that the creators of this remake are trying to take the fan base of a popular IP and crap all over the source material. Because it's clear that Rachel Zegler hasn't really looked at the original story.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Oh my God. Okay.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
I hate this girl. I fucking hate this girl, dude. I fucking hate this girl. And let's screen grab this. Hold on. I'm going to fucking screen grab this. Oh, there we go. There we go. Screen grab that. Yep. I hate you.
Yeah. Weird.
Super
So we didn't do that this time.
Weird. It's funny because there's a whole tech.
She has to be retarded, dude. She's got to be fucking retarded. She has to be retarded. There's something wrong with her. There's got to be something wrong with her.
TikTok trend of people mimicking these interviews and making fun of her.
Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
Outside of the comedy, did she even watch the movie? Snow White literally tells.
Obedience says, imagine trying to bang without popping her. Just like, no. I don't want to imagine. So, like, what do you do? Mish? And then she's like, weird. Or do you do a fucking doggy style and then look at her fucking werewolf back? No. No to none of that. No to none. No. Ew, dude. Ew.
Tells a story to the dwarves about how much she wants Prince Charming, and then she sings a song about him.
Once there was a princess, and she fell in love. Anyone could see that the prince was charming. The only one for me. He was so romantic.
In order to be a stalker, you have to be unwanted.
See, back then they actually casted people with talent. There was actually talented people. There was good singers. There was like models. The lady who for Cinderella, she was like a well-known model. The one that was the character was drafted on was a well-known model, right? And she was a talented actor as well, and like a good singer. There was talent. There's no talent. These people aren't talented. What happened to all the talent in Hollywood? Why are we casting people that have zero talent in any facet? Why? So they can push an agenda? So they can, I don't know, make us hate ourselves more? I swear to God, there is this entire push to make everything ugly and gross and disgusting and just like unlivable, right? Just across the board to make everything suck. Why? Does it need to be like that? Does it really need to be like that? Right? And this is not just like Hollywood and comedy. Comedy is garbage these days. Comedy is hot fucking garbage. I mean, like, there's a couple of... Ricky Gervais is okay, I guess. There's a couple of them that are okay. I don't really like Louis C.K. I don't like Louis C.K. I think he's a piece of shit. I don't like fucking Chris D'Elia. I don't like Chris D'Elia. I don't like him at all. I don't like him at all. But it's not just entertainment or music. I fucking hate modern music. It's like architecture and statues. Like the big fucking pissed off black lady in the middle of New York City. Why? Why that? Is that beautiful to you? Does that add to the city? Do people walk by it and be like, yeah, this is really a beautiful city we live? No, it makes everybody angry. And that bitch looks like she's had it. She looks like she's got 6 kids and none of them are listening. And she's in the fucking grocery store and she's like throwing fucking boxed foods into her cart because all of it's being paid for with EBT. And she's fucking had it. And so have I. Honestly, honest to God, I fucking had it. I fucking had it with all of it. The banana tape to the wall modern art, which is all fucking like money laundering anyway. This garbage where they spend $1 billion on a video game that's just a buggy ass mess, which is all money laundering anyway. And then all these movies where they pump millions and millions of dollars to make this garbage where they rip off an honestly beautiful story from the past. And it's all fucking money laundering anyway. That's what it all comes down to. Everything is fucking money laundering. That's all it has ever been. Well, maybe not ever, but now that's what it is. It's all money laundering. It's all fucking push an agenda, push an ideal, and then launder. It doesn't matter if it flops. It doesn't matter if it flops. Because that's not where the main revenue is coming from. The main revenue is coming from washing money. And where is that money coming from? Well, it's anybody's guess. It's anybody's guess. I have some ideas. I actually don't. I don't have ideas. It's coming from somewhere, though.
Now, you possibly could say that he is unwanted because Snow White runs away from him in the opening scene, but if you watch that scene for more than 5 seconds, you can see that she runs away from him not because she doesn't want him, but because she is dressed in
Ziegler was a YouTuber that joined Hollywood? I didn't know that.
rags and doesn't feel presentable. You would have to be watching the movie with a very particular bias to not notice her body language here.
And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
So Snow White is the villain in the remake because they just described the queen from the original movie.
So what they're trying to do is they're trying to poison a generation of girls, right? You don't want to have kids in a family. You don't want to grow up and be happy, right? No, you want to be a boss bitch, right? And ruin your life and end up alone in your 50s. That's what you're trying to do, because you saw this stupid bullshit Disney movie when you were young, and you're like, I can be a fucking relentlessly horrible cunt my entire life too, and that's what I'm supposed to be. That's what I'm supposed to be, right? That's what they learn. They're like, I'm supposed to be terrible to everybody I meet, and especially men. Especially men. I'm supposed to be terrible, especially to men, because they owe me something. Specifically because I'm a female. The destruction that's being caused, I mean, I'm not going to say it's irreparable, but it's uncountable. You can't even determine how much destruction is being caused by this. But they know it's a lot. They do.
Someone who doesn't want love or happiness, she only cares about being a girl boss leader.
Dan Snott says Chris D'Elia is a pedophile. Yeah, I know that.
Who has no real friends or significant other because no one likes her. Rachel even said, I don't know, maybe they'll cut Prince Charming from the movie.
So no prince or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. Right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. Whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. But it's
Andrew Burnap, great dude. By the
she's terrible. She's a terrible person. I don't know why anybody would want to work with her. Like, why does anybody want to work with her? I wouldn't want to work with her. She seems like a nightmare. She seems weird, and she seems like, no. She seems like a terrible person. I wouldn't want to be around her or involved with her in any way. I'd be like, But if you're getting paid millions of dollars and shit like that, I don't know. I don't know if I would. I still might be like, no, I'm not doing it. Fuck this lady. Fuck this movie. I'm out. I'm out.
By the way, I hope all his scenes get cut from the movie in the name of...
Obedience says literal evil cunt. Yeah. Yes. Why was she so emotional? She seemed worked up. I'm getting worked up. I need to chill out. Like, I need to chill out. I feel like I'm getting hot. Like, I'm physically getting warm because I don't know how to describe it. I'm like pissed, but like annoyed pissed. I'm uncomfortable. I'm annoyed, but angry. But, like, why angry? Not really angry. I'm just like, ugh. There's a hint of disgust in there. I don't know. What is the term I'm looking for? Can somebody find me a term for this melange of emotions that I'm experiencing? Because I don't have it. It's not even on the tip of my tongue. I have no idea what this collection of emotions that I am currently having. It is negative all around. It is all around a negative set of emotions. But to describe it, there has to be a word. I don't know it, though.
Of feminism. Why exactly are you
Cheddar
making a movie called Snow White?
Cheddar says despair. It could be... yeah. Is it? Is it despair? Is this anger that I'm truly feeling in my heart right now just like the manifestation of despair? Yeah, it could be. You might be right, Cheddar. Yeah, that really could be.
Right then.
It
This
really
is
could
basically
be.
theft because you're taking the original.
Because there is just like an overwhelming sadness I have about it, right? Because, yeah, I think despair is it. I think despair is it. Because there's a little bit of hopelessness. And there's anger because of like they're ruining things and like annoyance that she's alive. And yeah, just all together, I think despair would be a fair word.
Fan base and telling them, hey, we're doing Snow White. But then you make
it could just be GERD. No, it's not. I mean, I'm gassy because I drink a lot of bubble water, but it's not that. I don't think. Could be, though.
Completely different movie. You're stealing the notoriety of someone else's project because you guys aren't good enough to write an original story that people will actually watch. Snow White is not a masculine girl boss. She is the literal definition of a feminine woman. She's kind, caring, happy, soft, modest, and she loves children.
And she cooks and shit. And she takes care of 7 dudes every night. And oh my God. No, that's not it. No, we're not going to take this as a... Does she get like... We're not taking it that direction. No, we're mad at Rachel Ziegler for being an awful human being. Right? We're not going to go down the 7 dwarves are nailing Snow White road. Because that's... cliche. And I don't want to do that. But then you add in Rachel Ziegler, and I'm all like, okay, is this what they're alluding to? Are they alluding? Because Rachel Ziegler, I could see her taking on 7 midgets. I could see that. I could. I really could. And she, I'm not saying she would love it, but she would do it to get a job.
Is so feminine that she breaks into someone else's house and immediately starts cleaning it. Then, when the
breaks
dwarves catch her
into
in the
someone's
house,
house, breaks into someone's house and immediately starts cleaning it. I'm awesome, like based, girl based. That's girl based.
So I was lying on my bathroom.
Hold on. All right, somebody who sent this to me, was it Despite? I'll figure it out in a second. Let's see what this is.
Floor this morning, trying to work.
This is Onius.
Out if the stains on my t-shirt were kebab sauce or blood. Or both, when a thought occurred to me. If there's food left in a house that's burning down, there's probably a point where it's perfectly cooked. It's about time I started a new series on this channel. But what to talk about? What aspect of the film industry could I look at this time? Then it hit me.
It's Hollywood, baby.
Oh, that is brilliant, sir.
Stories of...
this is coming through hot. Couch Surfing says, I did that to John's place. She did. Yeah, she did. She started cleaning and organizing my clothes and stuff.
Celebrities that have nuked their own careers and crashed out of Hollywood in spectacular fashion.
And I was like, all right, you can stay. All right, you can stay. And, yep.
Go back almost as far as movies themselves. But man, I don't think it's ever been as prevalent as it is right now. So why not delve a little deeper into their life stories, have a few laughs along the way, and maybe learn a thing or two about how not to succeed in the movie business. So, without further ado, I bring you Crash and Burn, a story...
Cheddar says I signed up to get my DZ driver's license today, and I didn't think it would be $7,000. Gonna make sure I pass if I'm paying that kind of money. What is DZ drivers? What is that? Why does it cost $7,000? That's wild. That doesn't even... What? It's only a 4-month course, though. Is that like... do you drive trucks or something? That seems like a lot.
Story of celebrity failure. And truly, we're starting off strong with this one. Celebrity meltdowns don't get much more dramatic and spectacular than Rachel.
Christian says, Couch, how many black shirts does John own? You don't want to ask me? I don't know.
Rachel Zegler, a girl who single-handedly transformed herself from an up-and-coming...
The only I know when I'm out of shirts, I'm all like, I'm out of shirts. And then I get real mad. And then I start smashing things.
Darling of Hollywood to one of the most nuclear-grade toxic celebrities in the entire movie industry.
She is. She's incredibly toxic. She is an incredibly toxic person.
How did she manage it? Well, pull up a chair and let me tell you a tale. Our story begins in New Jersey back in 2001 when Rachel Zegler was born to Colombian and Polish parents. Damn man, that's a hell of a combination. Anyway, she went the typical theatre kid route and starred in a bunch of stage shows where she quickly discovered a talent for...
Teja says John has one black shirt. No. No, because you remember that time everyone was wearing, what was it? Vests? Everyone was wearing vests. And then I decided to cut one of my shirts into a vest. I still have that shirt. No, I have many. I have many shirts. I have many black shirts.
For acting and singing, and even started a YouTube channel where she would cover popular movie songs. Pretty standard stuff so far, and that might...
Brandon says not enough. I agree, they're not enough. I need to get more. I just do. I need to get more. Yep. And it's not... Look, I know I make jokes about how I'm wearing like my civvies today and stuff like that, and I'll have like a green shirt on. But it ain't like that. I wear black shirts all the time. Mainly. Everywhere. And people do say things. All the time. Yeah. Yep, you guys are not the only ones to notice. It is very common for people to say stuff about me wearing black shirts. And I after years of doing it, I haven't come up with a good retort in any way. So, yeah, I wear black shirts. I wear almost specifically black shirts. Exclusively black shirts. And here we go. Christian decides to pop in and give $5 for the Black Shirt Fund, which is good because that will buy me a black shirt.
It have been as far as it went were it not for Steven Spielberg, who
I don't know how much they cost.
Who in 2018 was looking to cast Latino actors.
I assume it's something around there, but I buy them by the pack.
For his upcoming remake of West Side Story. Young Rachel saw her chance and soon shot to the top.
Brandon Sav says, I'll send you a Snap-on Tools shirt. They are always black because they know. How about this? If you guys send me a shirt, I'll wear it on stream. How about that? You guys want to send me a shirt? Any shirt, and I will wear it on stream. I know I'm going to immediately regret that.
Top of the list for the part of Maria beating out
Oh my God, because you guys are animals, dude.
Tens of thousands of other hopefuls in the process. Well done, Rachel. The film would ultimately bomb at the box office, but Rachel didn't care.
Tejas sent me something. Tejas, what did you send me? Okay. Tejas sent me, oh, that's strange. He sent me black shirts. Men's running gym workout shirt sleeve, dry fit, moisture wicking crew. That's great because I sweat. I do sweat a lot. $30. Okay. I'm an extra large. So, yeah. $30. That's what it takes. And I might like these long ones, these longer ones, because like, I carry a gun. And a lot of times I have to bend over to like pick up my kids and stuff. And sometimes my gun pops up. And so I might need the longer ones. Just letting you know. Just letting anybody know. If you guys want to send me like a Christmas gift or like a Father's Day gift or something like that. Black shirts. Black shirts will work. Wait. What happened to Dankula? What happened to Dankula? Where was he? Oh.
It had put her on the map, and now that her name was out there, she was determined to make the most of it, no matter who she had to piss off in the process. The first real sign of things to come was her behaviour at the 94th Academy Awards, where she was left out of the West Side Story guest list, probably because there's like 200 characters in that film. But Rachel wasn't about to take this shit lying down, and immediately began bitching about it on social media, basically bullying and guilt-tripping the Academy into not just an invite, but an actual presentation gig as well. I mean, if nothing else, you've got to respect the sheer balls of this fucking 20-year-old.
It's not it's retardation. It's being retarded. It's being toxic and retarded. And you know, she's going to burn bright for a little while. Look, she hasn't made anything good. Has she made a single thing that's good? Has she been good in anything? Can somebody tell me if she's had a role where she has actually been acceptable and believable as the character she is meant to portray? Give me an example. Give me a single example, right? Because I feel like she's only famous just because she's a bitch. And look, if that's where you're going a lot of people have niches, like the Daniel Brigioli, the ghetto ass bitch, right? A lot of people have niches like that, but they don't stick around. And I feel like the same thing is going to happen to Miss Ziegler here. She's going to get on everyone's nerves. Because eventually she's going to piss off the wrong people. Sure, she's like doing what it takes right now, and she's pushing the agenda and blah, 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 and being... It's good that she's like kind of causing a disturbance in one way. Because look, yes, the movie bombed. This is a fact. This is true. But it's being talked about so much that it's actually becoming profitable for Disney. This, if it was like so and people are like, that's something, and then it went away immediately, that would be more disappointing to Disney than this absolute catastrophic dumpster fire, including this trash raccoon right here stirring the pot constantly. You know what I mean? Like, it's such an abomination. And she's making it so much worse that they're all like, okay, we can keep this going. This is turning into trash TV. That's what this is. Just in a reality kind of sense, right? It's not trash TV like TLC would be. It spans across social media, movies, bullshit like this, bullshit like what I'm doing right now, right? And this is all feeding into it. And Disney just sits back there and they're like, oh, okay, well, this works too.
Old nobody lecturing the biggest film organization on the planet about what she's entitled to. Don't worry though.
Critical Thought says, you know what movie sucked is the new 28 Years Later. That's disappointing. 28 Days Later was a good movie. 28 Days Later was a good movie. And what do they do? Do they make it gay? Did they make the guy gay? Was there a girl boss in it that fought zombies or something like that? And she was just like, oh, they're surprised how good she is at fighting zombies and stuff. And then she takes up like a girl boss leader type of scenario. Did they make it gay like that? Boo. 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 Boo.
Though entitlement would soon prove to be a running theme of Rachel Zegler's
28 Weeks Later was bad too. I don't even know if I saw that one.
Career. While all this was going on, she'd also...
The first one was good though. 28 Days Later, I thought it was good.
Also landed a supporting role in Shazam 2, which wasn't exactly career-making stuff, but rather the kind of easy, undemanding job that actors take for a...
Lucy Liu... She still looks like... She looks weird now. Did she get, like... her eyes more Chinese-y? Is there can you make extra... Is there some sort of operation where they make her more Chinese-y?
quick payday. The thing is, though, you're not supposed to say that part out loud, but that's exactly what she did during...
There we go. Classic Rachel Ziegler. These classic freeze frames. She makes classic freeze frames. I just had one. I'll see if I can bring it up. Let's go to my files. Let's see. Bring up my pictures. And then I wonder if I can put it on where it's like not too difficult. No. Anyways, I just had it. Whatever, fuck it.
During the film's press tour.
What made you want to step into this world of DC heroes? I needed a job. I'm being so serious.
It was like she had...
Fucking idiot. You fucking idiot. You fucking stupid idiot. You just want to fucking strangle her.
Had no filter, no idea of what's appropriate.
No filter.
Say, no understanding that she was basically shitting on the film before it was even released.
Yeah.
A film that was literally the second role of her entire career by that point. You're not quite so high that you can look down on movies like Shazam 2, Rachel. Anyway, the film would go on to flop at the box office, making 2 flops in a row for Rachel, but that's okay though because she had her eyes on an even bigger prize by this point. In 2021, Ziegler truly hit the big time when she was cast as the lead role in Disney's Snow White. The powers that be in Hollywood were clearly working to position her as the next big thing. Young, talented, diverse, and confident. A mini girl boss in the making, if you will.
She's not talented, though. She's not at all talented. She's not at all talented.
Oh, she was going to be the new Jennifer Lawrence, the face of the next generation of Hollywood starlet.
Okay, Jennifer Lawrence was talented. Jennifer Lawrence was talented. She is not Jennifer Lawrence, right? Jennifer Lawrence showed her butthole on the internet. I don't see your butthole, Rachel. You know what's going to take? She's going to have to become irrelevant. And then she's going to be like, I need to regain relevance. And then she's going to snap a picture of her beehole, her little starfish, and then post it on the internet and see if that works. It will. It will work for a time. But then it'll just go away again. But I'll still fucking screenshot it.
That would lead the industry for the next decade.
Screenshot.
Unfortunately, with all that fame and success came increased attention.
She can sing, that's it? Okay. And gay Broadway Disney princess BS Shing. So asterisk on that skill too. BSing. BSing? Whatever. Okay, she can sing. I didn't know that. Well, that's something, right? She's not exactly a triple threat. She's a single nuisance.
People were actually listening to what she had to say now, and holy shit, did Ziegler have a lot to say.
Despite says don't bring that into reality. It's too late. It's too late now. I've already done it. I've already brought that into reality, right? There's a reason I lead a cult, okay? Because one day I was all like, I'm going to lead a cult one day. Here the fuck we are. So you might as well put it on your goddamn calendar for Rachel Ziegler's butthole because it's gonna show up. You fucking circle it in red pen and be like RZ's butthole day. It's coming. I don't know exactly when, but it's coming.
Now, you've all seen her infamous red carpet interviews, so I'm not going to subject you to another tedious montage of it. But the point here is that her comments didn't go down quite the way she'd anticipated.
Onia says Ziegler acts like this because she wasn't a child actor, as in they didn't break her into the industry. Yeah, but I'm sure she's still fucking, dude. She's still having sex with the right people. I guarantee it. I guarantee you. And look, it's not like she's... See, the thing about child actors is when you're a child, you have a natural innocence, right? And you're stupid. And people in the industry take advantage of that. Sometimes terribly so. She's an adult, but she's still stupid. And so she'll be taken advantage of very similarly. Very similar. And it'll break her in the same way. Absolutely the same exact way.
For most people, this was their first real introduction to Rachel Zegler, and it wasn't a good one. She came across as arrogant, entitled and self-absorbed, casually insulting and dismissing the original Snow White, and banging on about the new film being made for modern audiences.
Fuck. By the way, removing... what is this guy's name? Removing this guy from The Witcher was the biggest mistake in the world. He nailed that role. He made that role. It was... After they took him away, I'm like, I guess I'm not watching The Witcher anymore. Because this guy, he nailed the role. There's no way I was going to watch it with anybody else playing that role, because I was legitimately angry about that, because I liked the first season. And then they're all like, we're taking him out. You're taking him out? You're Henry Cavill, thank you. You're taking Henry Cavill out of The Witcher. You're taking Henry Cavill out of The Witcher. The guy... Stupid. It was a stupid... And I'm like, what are you thinking? What's going through your fucking head? Why would you ruin the show like that? Just... Why? Why?
Just what nobody wanted to see. Now, in her defense, I still believe that she was delivering talking points given to her by the studio, but there is a way to get those kind...
Onia says Drew Barrymore also had sex with the right people. Yeah, when she was like 8.
Kind of points across without sounding like an obnoxious arsehole.
And that's true.
And she didn't do it. This stuff all came at the worst possible time in Hollywood history too, when the whole remade for modern audiences bubble was about to burst. The result? A social media firestorm the likes of which has never been seen before, or probably since. Even Brie Larson...
Onia says, I don't want a 40K show. Games Workshop is woke as fuck. Dude, if they did a 40K show and made it woke, nobody would watch it. 40K, okay, look, dude, 40K is about, like, religious space racists from the future. The entire premise, the entire lore behind that world is like I don't even know how they would do that. How would they make Space Marines gay? It would be awful, but it would also be like I might watch it out of curiosity, just be like, how are they gonna ruin this? How are they gonna make this terrible? They'll pull it off. They will, but I want to know how. I'm honestly surprised they didn't ruin Fallout. I'm surprised they didn't ruin Fallout. Well, I'm still waiting for the second season. The first season, it was watchable. It was honestly watchable. And like I'm a big Fallout fan. I played all the games. Not the top-down ones, but like, you know. But yeah, I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't wildly disappointed like I have been in a lot of times. So we'll wait for the second season. But it was not that bad. It was watchable.
Larson in her Captain Marvel heyday never came close to the level of backlash directed at Snow White, and more specifically at Rachel Zegler. For a lot of people, she basically became the personification of everything they disliked about modern Hollywood.
Oh, I would choke her. I would just choke her. And she'd be like, with her big fucking teeth. And I'd be like, this is what you get. Not because, like, I have, like, a vendetta against you or anything like that. I think this is for the best. And I just choke her. Right? Until she just actually started to turn Snow White color.
A spoiled, entitled, and not particularly talented manufactured celebrity elevated to a position she didn't deserve, and without the humility or self-awareness.
This guy is speaking facts.
Awareness to even be grateful for it. Disney were forced to go into full-blown panic mode, delaying the movie by more than a year while they waited for the backlash to die down. And
who is this? The Critical Drinker? I'm subbed.
even putting Ziegler on a humiliating,
because he's dropping facts. I've seen it before, but yeah, facts.
Carefully stage-managed apology tour in the hopes of softening her public image. And to some extent, it did kind of work. The marginal success of the new Hunger Games movie in 2023 helped to maintain the illusion that she was still somewhat popular. Unfortunately, it
didn't see it
last long. The problems really began, well, anytime she opened her mouth and went off script. And they could...
Because she's stupid, dude. She's just fucking stupid. Look, I mean, you can manufacture a celebrity all you want, and like you can put them to the top of the lists and put them in Variety and put them on billboards and like fucking Gene ads and stuff like that. But if they don't got the chops, and I mean the chops as in like at least a semi-functioning brain in their head, they're gonna fucking blow it. They're gonna blow it, and they're gonna cost people millions. But at least that's something to see. I know they know this. I know for a fact they know this. Because the people running these things, they're not stupid either. They know this is probably going to happen. And they're probably banking on it. They're probably going to bank on it just like... And make money on the downfall too. Make money... Here's the thing. A lot of times... Okay, so like... I'll give you an example with like record companies. They will take out large life insurance policies on their rock stars. Do you ever wonder why rock stars tend to die at the age of 27? You ever wonder why? It's because typically by the age of 27, their main body of work is behind them, right? And they've kind of lost... that fresh kind of feeling. They've made most of the money they're going to make in their life. And their records start to drop. The record sales start to drop. And they only at that point become a liability to the record company. However, if they should die, all of their work becomes property of the record company. This is what it says in their contract, right? And lo and behold, their record sales skyrocket after they die. You can look at this with Michael Jackson. No one was buying his records until after, at that point. Until after he died, his record sales shot way up. And if you have a huge life insurance policy on somebody and they mysteriously die, it looks pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty damn profitable. I'm just saying. So maybe I'm not saying that's exactly what's going on here, but it's... Watch your back, Rach. Watch your back. Right? Maybe not talk so much. Because they'll kill you.
Could only shut her up for so long. When the first trailer for Snow White landed in August
SBView says smash that like button and share. Please do. I would appreciate that.
2024.
Oh, and look at that. We're actually out of time. I lost track of time because I was doing conspiracy stuff. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming tonight. Thank you for being a part of the cult. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. And stay strong. And stay remarkable. Make me proud as a good cult member. And do those things that make your life better. I hope you guys had fun tonight. I hope you learned something. And hit the like button. Share. Do your part. I'm doing mine. Anyways, guys. Until tomorrow, I hope you guys have a great night. Again, stay strong, stay beautiful. Drink a lot of water. Get a good night's sleep. And take care of yourselves because I care about you too. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Good night.
I'm an incredible soul, unhinged and enraged like a bulldog's fierce growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster too. Government lies, they're feeding me their goo. I'm diving deep into this rabbit hole, uncovering the truth, setting fire to their control. I got small nipples, but my voice is loud, blowing like thunder in this crazy crowd. They say I'm crazy, but I call it woke, unraveling the madness with every word I spoke.